The presidential election in Sri Lanka has gone into second round of counting as no candidate secured the required 50% vote in the first round. Election Commission has said that all candidates except the top two are eliminated and second and third preference votes from other candidates will be redistributed among the two. The candidate with highest votes will be declared victorious. Voting for the presidential election was held yesterday in what is being termed by the Election Commission as the most peaceful election in the island's history. As per the results of the first round shared by the Election Commission, the leftist leader is secured 42.31% votes, while Sajith Premadasa came second at 32.76%. The incumbent president Ranil Wickremesinghe, who contested as an independent, came distant third with 17% votes. All right, and to give us more details on what is happening in Sri Lanka, since we told you that it has now gone into the second round, we have Dr. Ahmed Muin Faruqi joining us from Colombo. Hello, Dr. Faruqi. We have just told our viewers that the counting has gone into the second round since no candidate could secure 50% vote which is required, and all the other candidates have been eliminated except the top two candidates. You're at ground zero. What is happening? How's the mood? Tell us something about that. What is happening right now?
Siddharth, good evening. And this election, you're right. The Election Commission has said that in the second round of counting, all other candidates will be eliminated and only the top two candidates remain. The other candidates' votes, they will be redistributed on the basis of second and third preference voting. That has also happened here yesterday. You see, to begin with, Sri Lanka has been going through a huge change ever since 2022 when Sri Lanka witnessed the economic crisis. Ever since then, there has been a huge change in terms of several things. First of them was that uniting on the lines of key issues like economy. This election has seen several firsts. Now, if you talk about going to the second round, that's a very important historic moment in Sri Lankan elections. Ever since the elections were being held for the executive presidents from 1970s. So that's a very important development. The second is the complete decimation of the previous winner, the party that is SLPP, which was the party of the Rajapakshas. The Gotabaya Rajapaksa had won last election riding on the flank of nationalism from SLPP. And this time around, that party has gone into single-digit percentage of 2%, 2.5%. That's another major development. Thirdly, I also have to mention here that this has been termed as one of the most peaceful election that the island nation has seen. In fact, they have been terming this as the most peaceful. But of course, there had been a few violations of the election laws, but that apart, there has not been any incident of violence. Mood, as per what I can see outside, is that since last night till today afternoon to 12 p.m., there was a curfew, so people were not coming out. They were staying indoors. But as of now, we can see a few people who are coming out and trying to, go about their regular work. However, there is definitely, there's a sense of requirement for a desire for a change, and that is what has been seen in terms of how people have voted for candidates who are apart from the incumbent. Now, if I have to add this, the incumbent president is completely out of the race. As all other candidates apart from the top two are eliminated, the incumbent president came third at 17% vote, and he is out of the race. And this is something which is another historic development that has happened. I don't think it has happened ever earlier that an incumbent president not coming in the top two.
But so Dr. Faruqi, wasn't it on the cards already? As per the polls were suggesting, people were talking there that Ranil Wickremesinghe, is having very less chance this time around.
Yes, Siddharth, you see, this was something which was being talked about. But over the last 1 month, the incumbent president had held several rallies and meetings. And suddenly the polling, the surveys which had initially written him off, they started showing that he has eaten into the chunk of the top candidates.
But can you just tell us, what is the core reason for the same?
You see, primarily speaking, when the incumbent president had taken over in 2022 July, it was at a time that an economic crisis was high in Sri Lanka, with inflation running as like 70%, with no imports happening, with no fuel, no fertilizer, no food grains available, especially after the fertilizer crisis as well. It was a tough task. And at that time, Mr. Wickramasinghe taking the reins of the country was something which was very bold. He also knew that he would have to take many non-populist measures, including increasing income tax, making the fuel and fertilizer rates higher, as well as also bringing in several measures which would bring in austerity into the government. So this was something which did not go down well among many people, because they were already under tremendous stress because of high cost of living. And this was seen as something which was not acceptable by many. That was one reason. The second reason was he also has been blamed to not have taken any strong action against the previous regimes, especially when it was blamed, and it was also mentioned by the Supreme Court that the previous regime was responsible for the policies of the previous regimes were responsible for the condition Sri Lanka was in. So people were of the opinion that he is complicit with the previous regime and were not trusting him much.
And definitely, Dr. Farooqi, and hence is the result which we are witnessing right now. You were also mentioning this, for majority of Sri Lankans, this is an economy-driven election. They hope that the new government will stabilize the nation's economy and will take the country out of a complete crisis. How challenging, Dr. Farooqi, would it be for the new government?
To begin with, whosoever will win this election among the top two, it's going to be a difficult task for the new government, not just because they have to restart whatever has been left by the previous government. The incumbent President Ranil Wickramasinghe has taken several measures, but it's also very crucial because as of now, the country, the island nation has completed the bondholders' debt restructuring also. And this means that now, officially speaking, the island nation is out of bankruptcy and it has restarted payments which were under its external debt commitments. That said, the bilateral debt commitments will start from 2029. So as of now, the new government has to find ways to ramp up the revenues which the government makes. At the same time, also take care of the promises that they have made by reducing taxes, by making the essentials cheaper, and also think about how they would go ahead with taking care of the austerity measures that they have promised. Now, apart from all these things, it is also very crucial that they have to also plan for the next, the coming general elections also, which is scheduled next year. That would be a very crucial one, because a majority in the parliament will help the president, will help the new government to get through with the laws in the parliament and get it easily pushed. But if that does not happen, if the numbers are not there, then it will be a really tough task for the new government which will come in from tomorrow.
Okay, definitely, Dr. Farooqi, this is going to be a very challenging task for the new government when it comes to economic stability. And like you just mentioned, the counting has gone into the second phase now, because no candidate could secure 50% vote, which is required. And Election Commission has also termed these elections as one of the most peaceful election in Sri Lanka's history. But a wonderful analysis from your side, Dr. Farooqi. Thank you so much. We'll keep taking updates from you.